All right, we got one person in the house right now. What's up, Jeff? How are you? Whew. Two. Hey, Catherine, how are you? I'm doing well now that the best part of my week is here. Jody Bateman is in the house. Dale, how are you? Hey, Jane. Kevin. Hey, Joe, Derek. Savage Lunatic, Michael Middleton. Dr. Glass. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What's up, Andy? Dogman UK Man. Sharon. Kells. Kathy. Donna, how are you? I'm always chipper during the live stream. What's up, Luke Neely? Sherry is in the house. Julie's with us. Drew, Nina, Karen. How's everyone's week so far? Good? What's up, Jeannie? Neslova. Robert Sharp's in the house. How are you? Caden. Hey, Taylor, how are you? Derek, Lionhawk. Monty, Jen Cox, Adam Hernandez, Randy Man. I haven't had a chance to read it, Joe. I kind of didn't really feel great today, so I'm just putzing. No, I haven't, Charlie Knight, but I know it's on YouTube and I will be. Boof Pack 33. What a name. That is a wonderful name right there. Keith's in the house. What's up, Keith? What's up, Kelly Lewis? How are you? I'm going to narrate it first. Holy shit. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. Wow. Larry starts the night off strong. Thank you, brother. I really, truly appreciate that. Larry, you are in the medical field. I meant to email you, but if I had a biopsy done on Wednesday, how long would it take before the results? They said 24 to 36 hours, so I should find out Monday, do you think, Larry? I thought that was very interesting, Joe. Very interesting. Hey, Don, how are you? Donna, thank you so much. Catherine, I did put your email in. So if someone emails me something, here, I'm just gonna share it right now. This past week, I have not felt great. My dad, me, both being kind of under the weather with everything going on. And I have been doing a lot of re-uploads. And I know people have been giving me shit for it, but I didn't have the mentality to sit for 6-7 hours and record. So I just pieced together uploads that I hoped that you guys would enjoy. Tonight I did a pretty decent one with the videos that I had never seen. Tomorrow's upload is totally different. I put some effort into it. I just haven't felt good, and I wanted you guys to have something to watch. So I hope that I will be back on top the rest of the week and everything like that. So I apologize if a lot of you had heard the older videos and didn't like them. But like I said too, I needed some time, but I wanted you guys to hear, the newer people to hear that Tuesday. Okay, thank you, Larry. Getting results fast. And if they are getting results that fast, the provider probably has a little suspicion of any type of legacy. Okay, all right, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't heard anything back yet. So, but a lot with the new people were like, hey, what's up, David Thompson? That they hadn't heard like Rascal. And Robert was here last Saturday. People were asking questions, so I was like, let's do this. What's up, Rudy? How are you? Simone, how are you from Queensland? Gravity Cheeseburger, how are you? How the fuck are you, Gravity? I know you love the curse words. So I got a couple of really good experiences that we can start off with. The window's open. So because it's kind of hot in the house. So I hope that doesn't disturb us. This week, you may see in the middle of the week, you guys may see that in the middle of the day, you might see a live stream pop up. It's not going to be a live stream. I got a new camera and mic for my laptop or my computer, so you guys can hopefully get better imaging and stuff from it. So I'm hoping it, but I want to try it out really quick. So if the middle of the week you see a live stream and you're like, hey, what happened to it? That's the reason why. So, but let's start this experience or this evening off with an experience out of George Washington National Forest. My partner and I are avid hikers. Last July, we went on a trip and decided to camp at this spot we love, just west of the Shenandoah. It's quiet, off the beaten path, and offers absolutely spectacular views of both Shenandoah and portions of George Washington National Forest to the west. The first day and the evening of the trip itself were nice and uneventful, though we didn't sleep super well because of the humidity. The next morning, we decided to go for a hike in a portion of Jefferson Forest. We had never been there before. It consists of ATV trails and about a dozen campsites, but has a trail that leads to an old fire tower we had always wanted to check out. It was about a 45-minute drive from our campsite, mostly on back roads. When we got there, the first thing that stuck out to us was how empty the campsites were. We actually didn't camp there the night before because we had heard that the site was usually packed. And we knew we would arrive early enough the weekend to get a spot. There were only 2 spots taken. The one that was with a disintegrated tent and a bunch of garbage. It looked like someone had been there for a while, but it was deserted when we arrived. On the other, there was a young woman, I'm guessing in her late teens, setting up a small backpacking tent. There was a truck and one other smaller car in the parking area. We parked and started getting our gear together, and the woman approached us to ask if we knew where the trailhead was. I told her that we had read that it branched off about 100 yards into one of the ATV trails, but we were not 100% sure which. Since I was getting such weird vibes from the place, I kind of hoped she'd stick around and go with us to find it. But she just thanked us, and off she went in her own direction. We set off and walked up and down a few ATV trails until we found the walking path. We saw 2 ATVs shoot by us at one point, but otherwise didn't encounter anyone else, including the woman from earlier. It took us about an hour to get to the top of the mountain where the fire tower was. It was an old metal structure that you'd have to climb a narrow set of stairs to get to the top. We got up, looked around, took some photos, and started heading down. Honestly, the view was kind of a letdown. About halfway down, very suddenly, everything stopped. The birds, the bugs, it was dead silent. And I don't know quite how to put this in words, but it felt like an ancientness of the forest was contorting and crushing us. I felt trapped and cornered in spite of the expanse around us. My partner and I looked at each other and wordlessly started to book it out of there. We started running back to the car, but the feeling only followed us. As we were rounding one of the switchbacks, we heard this unearthly shriek, like a cross between metal on metal and choir screaming off key. And we saw something, just a glimpse of it before we blacked out. I don't know how to describe it other than it looked huge despite clearly not taking up much physical space and moving in the flashes. It didn't have any color, it just felt like it was evil and empty. I probably only perceived it for a half a second before my memory just completely gave way. When we came to, we were sitting in the car and 2 hours had passed, double the length of time it had taken us to get up there. I don't know if we had lost consciousness or just somehow blocked those hours out. I learned later the exact same thing had happened to my partner. Both of the cars were next to us in the parking lot, and there was just the still two tents at the campsite. The woman wasn't in hers, and it looked exactly the same when she had left. I think about her a lot now, and I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out if someone went missing around that area at the time of our trip. It took a few months for my partner and I to talk about that day. Some of the experiences I've seen have made me feel not less alone. I still love to hike, but honestly, I have not been able to go in the Appalachian forest since. So that one kind of stuck out to me. And I think I shared that one at the end of Lucifer Jesus. How are you? Robert Salazar. Caden. I think, hey Liz, and I think Greg Graham. I think I shared that one at the end of last week's live stream, but I wanted to share it again because I know I raced through it and I didn't get a chance to talk about it. And it got me thinking about these portals and the stuff like that. So where Tom Mezek disappeared in David Paulides' movie The Hunted, that's the only time ever mentioned by Tom Mezek's cousin that there was a metallic sound made. And there was, he'd never mentioned any time loss or anything. But last time I was up there, when that tree smashed, and I had talked about it, when I ran down the mountain and finally got to my car, I remember it being like 5 p.m. And I drove home, but I don't know. I lost track of time somewhere between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. because the last thing I remember was getting to my car, talking on my camera, putting it back in the car, driving home. That's all I remember. And then coming home, I don't remember that. The next thing I remember is uploading a video, and then everything kind of went back to normal. I really think that there is some sort of portal up there, and I think possibly that's what happened in Mezek. And I don't know if there is a portal there. I don't think we'll ever find a piece of his clothing, his hat, his rifle, his walkie, his boots, unless whatever is in that portal wants us to find it. So I think that we never will. But I did get 2 trail cams Monday, and I'm going to set them up. I'm going to have one where the 2 rocks that I was sitting on, there's a tree that points in the direction of the tree that had smashed. So it'll be pointing this way. And then I'm going to walk a little past where the tree smashed and have another camera pointing this way. So they'll be going like this. And they have like a 60-foot radius, whatever. and I'm hoping that I'll catch something. I talked about putting bacon down on like some rocks, but I don't know if I want to or not, because then any kind of animal will take it. You know what I mean? So, hey, Lily, how are you? What's up, RC? Did you ever feel dizzy or get sick too? I was dizzy there. I was dizzy up there. Suji, how are you? Susie Smith. Metallic sound. Finished some ancient ruins in Arizona. Woo. IE Native, how are you? Rockin' Reef Sully. I'm doing well, Derek Crawley. How are you? Melody Page. MJ Bates. Hey, Kimberly Wilson. I hear a lot of Bigfoot sightings. There are quite a bit of Bigfoot sightings in the Adirondacks, maybe high in the tree, big branch. Yeah, that's a good idea, Karen. That's a good idea. What's up, Steve? Steve with the ringer t-shirt. I heard cooked and I heard raw. But you know what the thing is, I was telling my dad just to make him laugh, the day after his surgery, that I said, well, you know, my dad's like bacon. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, who the hell doesn't love bacon? And he's like, eh. So I don't know. Actually, I heard the idea about bacon from Jody Bates, who is in the comment section right now. He had shared that with me, and I think his brother, Terry, Jody Bateman Terry had shared that with Jody, one of the two. But I know it was Jody. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yodo. Is Yono here? You're not late. As long as you made it, you know? Yeah, what's up, Yono? Did you see it? Well, welcome to the first live. Did you see it? I'm glad you're here with us. Something smells funky outside. It smells like old dead raccoon or some shit like that. It's probably my neighbor's ass. Yeah, the little people. Yeah, what's that English fella that had been in the woods there, and he caught the little Dogman's chode. He had caught the little people, actually. I'm not sure what the guy's name is. I forget. He's an old guy. Truth Quest, yeah, fairy. I think he calls them fairies or some shit like that. I don't know. I think that's kind of demeaning to call a little person a fairy. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Hey, Lake Superior girl. Damn, it does smell bad out there. Fuck. What's up, BDRP? Airmac, how are you? If DDoS is in the house, that means Dark Waters won't be too far behind. What's up, Troy? How are you? Shit. Legna 97. Yeah, Dark Waters is from Louisiana. Yep. Nymphs, little people, fairies, trolls. midgets. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. If there's any midgets out there, please don't get mad at me. I was only teasing. Please, I'm sorry. I love y'all the same. Steve, supposedly, yes. I wasn't there, so I can't say 100%. So that's why I say supposedly yes. I'm sorry, Andy Davis. Please don't hate me. What's up, DW? How are you? I told you guys if DDoS is here, Dark Waters ain't too far to follow. Oh. All right, so I got another couple of creepy ones. We'll just keep going for a little bit, and then we'll have just a kind of a BS conversation and stuff. I live on a farm on the side of the mountain in the middle of nowhere in British Columbia's interior. No cell service. Neighbors are beyond shouting distance. A very on your own lifestyle is out here. My trailer is on top of this property next to a barn, surrounded 360 degrees with forest except for a little road up here. The mountain, Mount Ida, has a long history with the Aboriginal people of my area. I've been told stories of the mountain since I was a child. Basically, the summary of every story is people are banished from the mountain because the spirits make it too dangerous. All sorts of weird things have been seen and have happened on the mountain. Anyway, at around 10:45, I had heard 3 sets of sirens rush by the road. Out here, you never hear sirens. In my cumulative 15 years here, I've heard 1 siren, and it was earlier this week. Basically, I was intrigued. It wasn't until about a half an hour or so that my power had cut out. I'm already in bed at this point, lights are out. The only way I actually noticed was because I had no Wi-Fi. Now, that's always a heart stopper, cause out here no Wi-Fi means I'm entirely on my own. This makes me very anxious, for sure, but I'm more worried that I won't be able to call the fire department if something catches fire. Then out of nowhere, I hear this super sharp, loud cry, like a kid who had crashed on a bike, hysterical crying from what sounds like a young child. My dog's going absolutely nuts at the door. Now, if you're familiar with cougars, you know that they can often mimic a child crying and scary accurately as well. So, lying here as the tension builds, I'm just telling myself it's a cougar. That's all it is, just a cougar. For me, the best case scenario right now. That's it, just the cougar. Dogs have finally calmed down, and I'm just trying to get some shut eye when I hear the second sound. This was an ungodly sound, something I'd never heard in my life. This one sounded like a mix of every horror movie monster all in one. I can't describe it. It was about 5 seconds of pure screeching, like a demonic banshee with vocal cords of a T-Rex. The bass to it shook my bed. It was as there was a concert-sized sound system hiding in the forest blasting out zombie vomit. I could taste my heartbeat at this point. My dogs are acting like rabies-ridden pit bulls toward the door, snarling, growling like whatever just screamed was on the other side. I didn't know what to do at this point, so I couldn't call or get in contact with anyone. All the lights are off, and I'm just lying here in the dark, utterly and completely scared. I was not about to get up and go investigate. It's the middle of winter, of course. I just lied there checking my phone every 30 seconds to see if the Wi-Fi had come back on. Nothing else came after that. Just ended up falling asleep at some point. As of the morning, everything was back to normal. Nothing creepy going on. Power's back on. Made a post on the local Facebook group. Nobody else in the area heard anything, and only a few lost power as well as me. So take it as you will. Cougar and heat, Bigfoot coming out of hibernation, 1,000-year-old native ghosts trying to get me off his land. I'm not a very paranormal guy, and I have no idea what it could have been. Love to hear your thoughts. Update. Time to update and answer a few questions. So to start, it has been confirmed the sirens and the power was lost due to a motor vehicle incident in the power pole a kilometer or so down the road. Strangely enough, I've also found out that the other siren a week ago was responding to a motor vehicle accident, but almost the exact same spot. So take that as you will. I also decided to open a post and check it out for the first time, and you guys have all scared the crap out of me even more. General update. Yes, to everyone who mentioned it. I do have a generator. The problem is, it's up in the barn along with the Wi-Fi router. Definitely was not going to even open my bedroom door, let alone go outside after hearing that screeching noise, walk to the creepy barn, and go screw around with the generator. I have checked around the walkable vicinity, no tracks or anything of interest that I have found, although I did not want to go searching through the forest for tracks, to be completely honest. As for gun protection, I would absolutely love to have a gun for this exact reason, but it's a hassle in Canada. And even if I decided tomorrow was the day, it's a long process, and I probably wouldn't have a gun till next winter. So I said cougar or mountain lion. As I said, the first one, definitely a cougar in my opinion. I've heard many cougars throughout my life, and they make a lot of weird noise. But the second one, I just have a tough time accepting that as a cougar. In the defense of it being a cougar in heat, though, the weather had been absolutely strange, very warm. Usually it's about minus 15 at this time of year. It's been sitting at around 0 for the past couple of weeks. This could cause animals, including cougars, to think it was spring and to start acting weird. Government lab? I have to unfortunately say this is most likely not the case. I have explored a lot of the mountain as trails and go in my back 40, go on to Crown Land and the rest of the mountain. It's just logging trails up here. My area is very boring, and you would notice any type of suspicious vehicles unless they're sneakily driving around in mid-2000 rusted out F-150s. I'd really like to believe that it was some kind of wild animal, but I'm not really sure. Like I said, there are a lot of Bigfoot theories up in my region, and possibly some Native American shapeshifters have been mentioned. Anyway, that's all I've got for right now. What's up, MK? How are you? Candy Wolf, how are you? I don't trust anything anyone deflecting from the government has to say as well. Information. Absolutely. Hey, RH, how rockin' steady? What's going on? Truth Quest. Truth Quest, to be honest, I don't listen to Vic Cundiff's show, but there's been numerous cryptid encounters in the Adirondacks. We have our own Bigfoot festival. Finding Bigfoot filmed a couple or one season up here, I believe. No, I know for a fact they did. I don't know how long. Putting Heads Out gang, what's up? It is what it is. What's up? Russell Brand. No, I do not. What's up, Alligator Horse? How are you, Jeff? Did you once listen to Dogman Encounters back when he started? No, I didn't, Charlie. No, I did not. I'll check it out. Charlie asked me a question about did I ever listen to Dogman Encounters when I started. What's up, Eunice? No, I didn't. I don't know him, and I did reach out to him when I first started the channel, but he kind of snubbed me, so that kind of made me not want to have any association with him. Then Dark Waters and I became friends. And, you know, he said something to me very near and dear, actually, the other day. You know, that he only has a few friends in this community of, you know, as creators or researchers, and only a few that he looks forward to talking to, because most people who reach out to him other than his friends always seem to want something from him, and that really made me feel good. So I try not to make friends in this field and just do my own, make friends with you guys obviously, but I think it's just, you know, a headache. But I'll check that out, episode 45. Yeah, I don't think there is a Vic Cundiff encounter with a Dogman Rockin' Steady. Greg Graham, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. Well, I have and I haven't. I just kind of separated myself from him for a little bit. What's Joe doing now? It's so crazy. Exactly, Enki, it is. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of weird people coming out in the UFO community or UAP community that are talking about them living among us. And it's not people, it's the government people. Got a halo on, supported by my horns. What's up, Mark? How are you? They're lying, Yono? Yeah, I haven't checked it out too much. I just heard it from a buddy of mine. Thanks, Gravity. I appreciate that. I haven't heard anything about it. Like I said, I've been focused on other things this week. I just caught something. You know how you catch something in your ear quick and you need to you just, I don't know. You just catch things and it kind of sticks with you. Randall, I'll email you my address. I've got your email. We're going to touch bases this week, I believe. I'm trying to get back in track here. I just having a hard time with it. No, Craig, I have not put the cameras up yet. I'm going to put them up this week sometime, hopefully, if I can get up there. Yeah, I do got a GoPro. Yep. There wasn't a reason, Steve. As far as I know, there wasn't a reason. It was just to release in the wilderness. So where else? That's a pretty good idea, Enki. But the thing is he was 72 years old, so I don't think he'd be getting up and walking too much. But a good idea. Good idea. Thank you, Donna. Yes, I did, Joe. Yep. I saved your email, and I have not read the encounter yet. I saved it and read just your about my address and stuff, and saw the picture of your dad. Yep. No, I haven't, Lake Superior Girl. Thanks, Steve. I love this community too. You guys are what makes this community special. It's, like I say at the end of every video for a reason, because I can't thank you guys enough. So I'm like, I'll just put it in every video, because without you guys, this channel would be a pile of shit. Thanks, Andy. You're the man. Yeah, William, no, we don't have full control. And I don't think anybody ever said we did, but, we have the right to protect ourselves and the right to go in the woods as well. He's not feeling better. He's got to go August 3rd. My dad's got to go August 3rd back to the hospital. So it's going to be a tough one. Your silver hair makes this channel what it is. I bet your back as full. Yo, no, I don't have back hair. Sorry. I bet you do, though. You probably got a big old hairy ass muff. I'm just kidding, Yono. Thanks, Robert Sharp. Appreciate that, brother. Prayers to your nephew, Jane. Prayers to your nephew. I didn't laugh about that. I was laughing about the ass muff comment. Oh. All right, this is a pretty crazy one. Thanks, Dale. Gustavo, how are you? Dude, look at Gustavo's picture. The picture of Gustavo fits the name. Look at that. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight, brother. Appreciate that. Ashley, how are you? Do you live by yourself? I live with my 2 daughters. Single dad. Please don't spit. Hey, Pops, how are you? Outlaw Josie Wales is a great movie. Dude, if you're going to watch Westerns, the 1970s spaghetti Westerns are probably the best. The 60s and 70s spaghetti Westerns are the best. Oh yeah, William, absolutely. Did you mean conscience? I do believe they can speak telepathically, 100%. My Name is Nobody. I never saw that. Wait, maybe I did. My godmother's like 83 years old, and she's loaded. Like when I say loaded, I mean loaded. And she literally just she's so funny. She's this frail little old lady, and she just watches old western movies and TV shows all day long. That's all she watches is like old Gunsmoke, Laramie, stuff like that. I love sitting with her. I go and sit with her like every couple of months, or not a couple of months, like once a month I go and sit with her. Monty, that sucks, brother. Little House on the Prairie, little Charles Ingalls. Dude, that'd be pretty awesome if old Charles Ingalls. Bone Tomahawk is a great movie. We talk about that movie quite a bit on this channel because it's just such a good movie. It'd be awesome if like Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie got in like a gunfight, you know? True Grit with John Wayne. That's a badass movie. Not the new one. Didn't they do a new True Grit or something like that? They put Jewel, Derek. It was good. Okay. They did with Matt Damon. Tombstone's good. Tombstone's real good. Jeremiah Johnson. Wow, I haven't thought about that in a while. Wow, yeah, it is a good movie. That's a real good movie. Rafe Beaver. There was a couple of gunfights in Little House on the Prairie. I must have missed those. I used to have to watch that show all the time with my older cousin. It was terrible. Ma, Pa. What's up, Jordy? Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry. He's doing as good as he can. He's got to go back in the hospital on the 3rd. Thank you for asking, Paulina. Sorry. Rooster, wasn't it Rooster Crow or Rooster Codwell or something like that? Rooster Cogburn, that's what it was. Buster Scruggs, yeah, that's like so funny. Mrs. Olsen versus Dogman. Definitely, I'd have to say Mrs. Olsen. She would beat the shit right out of a Dogman. She was such a wench. Oh. Anastasia, how are you? Dogman would eat both of them, Charlie Knight. Dogman would eat both of them. Jake, I'm not really sure when he's coming back, brother, to be honest with you. Sons of Katie Elder. I've never heard of that movie. It's funny because Larry just mentioned it and IE Native just mentioned the Sons of Katie Elder. I got to check that out. Can you imagine how many, like, I have a file in my filing cabinet It's about that thick of old newsprints from like back in like 1800s and stuff. And just imagine like what it would be like for one of those kind of Western guys, they're in a posse riding through, and all of a sudden they run up on a Dogman or a Bigfoot. Can you imagine how incredibly terrifying that must have been? Unforgiven's great. Clint Eastwood's that's a great movie. Actually met Rockin' Steady. Good for you, brother. You're lucky. Yeah, Pearl Green. There's nothing better than a Clint Eastwood movie. He was fucking jacked back in the day too. He was a badass. Aramik. It wasn't Aleister Crowley. It was Anton LaVey who wrote it, and I shared some of it on the channel a while ago. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Jane. I got some pains in my chest for some reason. Turn left, Clyde. Hell yeah, that was great. Michael Moore. I can imagine Michael Moore being a jerk. I can imagine that. The Django Unchained is a great movie. No, Dale, there's a book that Anton LaVey, Dale Pywek, Anton LaVey wrote a book called How to Become a Werewolf. And I shared probably 4 pages of it. Joe Michaela got the book for me in Russian, though. And so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I don't have any aspirin. I wish I did, to be honest with you. And absolutely, Candy, he was beyond evil. Well, if you listen to what he said, he wasn't, but I don't know. And English. Okay, thanks, Joe. A little bit, Andy. Anyone know why the doorknob will jingle if someone's trying to open it? I have opened the door and there's nothing there. Trouble. I would have to say probably a spirit or some sort of poltergeist. Alligator horse. No, I've had just real bad chest pains all day today. I woke up with real bad chest pains. Like hard to breathe. Poltergeist. Yeah. A 5-foot snake crawled out of my truck engine air. Holy shit. Yeah, definitely don't open the door. Because like everyone's saying, you're gonna let whatever is in out. Yeah, I'm gonna call my specialist on Monday and let him know that what was going on this weekend. It's weird because I asked my daughter, because my youngest daughter and I will like, she thinks it's funny to beat the shit out of me. Like, not really, but she likes punching me and stuff and jumping on me. And I was like, "You didn't hit me in the chest yesterday, did you?" And she's like, "No." Because I woke up and like, you know how like if you cough a lot for an entire day, let's say like you like, okay, when I was a kid, and I'd take bong hits all the time, and you'd cough, and your chest would hurt real bad. That's what it felt like all day today. It was just this like pain right here. And it's like I can't take a deep breath without a pain. Thank you, Firewolf. I'm sorry. Appreciate that. Well, thanks, Pops. That's giving me a little more heartache. I'm just kidding. It's a little easier. It's a little harder said than done, Julie. I have a hard time. About a year and a half ago, Truth Quest. Josie Wales. No, I haven't seen T-Bolt in a while, man. I'm worried about T-Bolt. I wish I could get in touch with him, but I don't know. Hopefully, Simone, hopefully. You know what's weird? Sharon Williams just said it. New York State, where I live, and this is weird because like there are higher, like Messina, New York, the Hogansburg Res are all like right up there on Canada, Niagara Falls, but I'm in like the middle of the Adirondacks. So like New York State comes up like this and goes down and then juts out. I'm like right in the middle. Not the middle of the state, the middle of the Adirondacks, the northern Adirondacks. And our air quality was worse and has been worse than all of the area in our state for some reason. I've not had a stress test, to be honest with you, Larry. I talked to my mom today about it, and she thinks it's a panic attack or an anxiety attack or something like this or that. I get stressed out about the channel sometimes. I'll tell you why I get stressed out is because when I put out a video, this drives me absolutely insane. I put out a video and half of you guys can hear it and the other half can't for like the first 3 minutes, and it just freaks me out. Yeah, Anastasia, absolutely. I see my doctor on Thursday, so I'll actually bring that up, Larry. Do I just say, hey, Dr. Hoy, I want to have a stress test? Is that what I'd say? Charlie, no. What was the comment, Charlie Knight? What'd the comment read? Hang on, I gotta find this comment. My sister worked in the national labs with decent high clearance. She told me that she had been fired because she saw something she shouldn't. Whoa. Putting heads out, gang. Can you email me, please? Putting heads out. Gang 746. I'm just going to call you 746. Gang 746. Can you please email me? Because I'd like to have a little bit more information on that, if you don't mind. What's up? Chip Norris is in the house. What's up, Chip? I'm just kidding. What's up, Chuck? Hope your day is going well. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm a little flushed today. I felt a little flushed today. Watching UK sun rise. Wow. That's awesome, John. Nairoshi, how are you? Lake Superior girl, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you mentioned that you have chest pain. Thank you, Naroshi. What's up, Tammy? Thank you for joining us on your work break. I appreciate it. Maybe I did then, Larry, because is it a blood test? Because every time I go and do blood, I give like 16 vials of blood every other month to LabCorp. Andy Davis, RH is in the United Kingdom. What's up, Brian Cook? How are you? I wonder where Vang is tonight. Vang ain't in here either. Oh, shit. Yeah, 746. I'm going to put my email address in the comment section. If you could email me, I'd love to chat with you about what you shared. If you're willing to share it. If not, that's completely understandable as well. All right, be safe, Robert Sharp. William, yes, absolutely they can. Yeah, that's definitely not old news. Gang 746, thank you very much. My email address is right under Eunice and right above Mothman46. What's up, Mothman46? How are you? It was his sister, Enki. Big Gun, I had to use older uploads this week because I was just not doing well this week. I explained that already, but thank you. I appreciate that. Heart rate, look for motion, abnormal. I've never had one of those, Larry. I can tell you the biopsy thing that they took out of my leg. I'll share this with you guys. It's crazy. So I'm sitting there and I thought they were gonna knock me out, but they didn't. And he's talking to me and stuff, and the thing was above my knee, like, well, it's right here. It's above my knee. So he cut into my skin and he took a chunk of it. It was like that big around, but it wasn't round. It was weird looking. And it was like kind of like it almost looked like a star. And I don't know if that's how he cut it, but I don't think so. And like that long. And he had put it in this little cup thing. And it was fucking weird, dude. It was weird. Yeah, Larry. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. Um, there's something I got to email you and talk to you, Larry, this week about my dad actually. Yeah, it hurts real bad like for the last couple of days. Um the where like if I bend my knee cuz it's right above my knee, it just like and then of course I can't ever sit still. And I have OCD, so I have to vacuum my house every freaking night. I have to, no matter what. And I ended up popping a stitch, so it like started gushing. Big Gun, I really appreciate that. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Nick Rhodes, that's actually a good question. That's really Nick Rhodes. I wonder if some billionaires have a cryptid zoo. I wonder that myself. I've actually wondered that if some Texas rancher has like a Dogman in captivity. That's good, Liz. I'm glad. Thank you, Gang 746. I appreciate that, brother. Paulina, no, I haven't heard anything from Victor as of late. What was that other? There was some guy that was drunk in here like 2 weeks ago. Remember him? I forget who that was, Gravity, but he was shit faced. Jeff, why did you do the biopsy? Were you having pain? No, my doctor had noticed a lump on my leg that he was really concerned about. And with PNH, I have a higher rate of getting leukemia. So he wanted to make sure that everything was good. Hang on, there's somebody's yelling down the road walking by my house. Let's see if we can hear him. Yo. Paulina, yes, he did. Those were old uploads. Anything on Victor that I'm drunk every time, Andy Davis, you maniac, you. Um, those older uploads that Victor, any upload that I had done with Victor in the last month are old because I wanted to reintroduce people to him. Not many people had, with all the new people, it just felt right to do. Did you guys see what happened this month? I was at 48,000 when the month started, right? And I am literally almost at 51,000 right now. I have never had a growth like that. It was crazy. But I'm not a quitter. Yeah, I've never had growth like this. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast. He was interviewing a guy he had interviewed named Bo. Tammy, was it Bo from Arizona or Bo from New River? Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I gotta shut this. People are starting to walk by. I'm somewhat new here, so all of the Victor stuff recent. Absolutely, Kyle. And that's why I really did that, is so the newer people could find and listen to the Victor stuff. Thank you very much, guys. It's really nice of you to say. I really, I was happy with the growth, like the steady growth, like 6, 7, 800 subscribers a month is fine with me, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for a play button, but it was just weird because I've never had I've never had 300 subs in one day subscribe to me. And I was just like, holy crap, this is unbelievable. Brian, no, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge, he didn't. Thanks, Rockin' Steady. I appreciate that. I do. Kyle, that's awesome. Yeah, Dark Waters is literally my best friend. Not like subscriber or channel people. Like me and him talk about other things than the channel stuff. He's a great guy. He's really a caring person. He's a wonderful man. I actually have a lot of love for him. A lot. I appreciate our friendship. What's up, Greg? Light numbers 166. Anyone's ever heard reports of Dogman cloaking? Chuck Norris, yes, I have. I've absolutely had. One of my officers has a crazy story. He shared it with David Politis. Chuck Norris, I want you to please have him share that with me because I'd love to hear it. But yes, the woman in Scotland had Dogman issues around her house and her horse barn. She had taken a picture of these in Scotland. They have, I guess, like these kind of strange, like weird deer. They're really beautiful. They look almost like a whitetail. But she had taken a picture of these deer out in the field, and she had gotten this really weird, like shadowy, hairy, brown thing behind the deer. It was crazy. Crazy. Charlie Knight, if I ever do get the play button, Charlie Knight, I will celebrate it with you guys. If I ever do get a play button, I'm going to I'm going to get a tattoo of the play button on my arm, and I'll bring you guys with me, and we'll do a live stream from the tattoo parlor. Jeff, how come no numbers your videos? Because I'd be up to 2,400 right now, Josie Wales. Hopefully, Susanna. Hopefully. What's up, Lori Hendricks? How are you? Thank you for joining. You're not late. You're not late. You're here. I'm not ignoring anybody, Perot. I didn't see your comment. I'm the only person doing this. So if you feel ignored, I apologize, but I didn't see it. You try reading 261 comments. I don't use Facebook. Facebook, to me, I don't use Facebook. Well, I don't want help, but thanks, Perot. I appreciate the info, and I do know that it's available, but I don't want to. I don't trust Facebook. It's not secure. It's definitely not safe either. That's why I always say, guys, email me, and I, will gladly. I respond faster to email. I don't even look at Facebook because I just don't trust it. Old Coast to Coast is awesome. Old Coast to Coast. Yeah, TikTok, none of that is, I'd rather just, I trust Google. I don't trust Google. That's like saying you trust the government. But I trust Google a hell of a lot more than I trust Facebook. We're in East Texas. We have a an eyewitness account of a Bigfoot. Yes, please do. Please do. I apologize for not catching you. Pro, and if I'm saying your name right, hopefully I am. The reason why I don't have mods is because Jane's a mod, but I don't know how, and she doesn't know how. But the reason why I don't have mods is because I don't want somebody to get banned or cut off or whatever without me seeing it, if you know what I mean. And I've seen other YouTube channels have mods take control of the chats and stuff. Mel's Hole, yeah. Mel's Hole is what? That's out of the country, I think, right? Josie Wales? Yeah, YouTube did make you a mod for some reason, Jane. That's funny. Thanks, Pro. I appreciate it. Do you need my email address? What about Discord? I'm not sure about Discord. I know like the what's that? What's Up app or whatever. I don't trust that because I've heard like a lot of people get hacked with stupid shit like that. I just don't know. I just trust Google, Gmail, YouTube. I guess Instagram's okay. I don't really know. Old school coast to coast would be the best. I don't know if there's new coast to coast, but old school coast to coast. Yes, Pro, I can. Yep, I definitely can. Just took my insulin shot, so I'm okay. Robert Sharp, that's all right. Good stuff, brother. Well, RH, I don't think any email is totally secure to be real with you. Well, Robert Sharp is right in Brett Alexander. Why are there no pictures of Rascal? Robert Sharp is the person, and he's in this chat right now. And in those 5 uploads that he shared why there is no pictures of Rascal, because of the fact that his dad and his dad's work partner, where Rascal came from, made sure there never was. A European war. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. The High Desert. That movie, The High Desert, that's crazy. That's a really crazy found fiction or found footage fictional movie. It's pretty cool though. It had me tricked for a minute or two. When's the Dogman Hunter book coming out? Author's name. The author's name would be mine, Steve. And I've had too much stuff on my plate to finish it right now. It's finished, but I've got to go through it and make sure it's perfect. Robert's a good shit, man. I like Robert Sharp a lot. I had a lot of fun. When me and Robert did the interviews, I had a lot of fun talking with him. I always have fun talking to you guys when we do interviews. I think Jane was one of my first interviews I ever did was Jane's. Jeff from Georgia, happy birthday, brother. I'm glad we can spend your birthday with you. Thank you. HSH Flowers and Knowledge, how are you? You're not late, dear. You're not late. You're here. That's all that matters is that you're here. No one's late. And it's cool because you can just go back and listen to it. Happy birthday, Steel Redneck. Happy birthday to you. Steel Redneck needs 48 spankings and then the candle shoved right up his. Just kidding, buddy. Little Horse Reynolds, how are you? Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Mark Reno, and I feel bad for Claudia Ackley as well. She was somebody I really cared about. She was a wonderful woman. She really was. All right. How about a really strange encounter? Hubby and I just celebrated our 40th. Congratulations, Donna. Congratulations. That's awesome. 40 years. Wow. All right, I got a really weird, kind of freaky one to share with y'all right now. At the time of this incident occurred, I was homeless and got around on an old bicycle. One evening, I was looking for a spot to set up a quick campsite in a small patch of woods along a public bicycle path in west central Darke County, Ohio. It was cold, and I was eager to get a small fire started and to get into my sleeping bag. The area is a refuge for stray cats. Many locals drop off their unwanted or stray cats in the area, and some local kind hearted folks feed them and provide plastic containers for shelter. When I found what I thought would be a suitable spot to set up camp, I set my bag down and walked a few steps to a large tree to empty the old bladder. I had a small flashlight in my bag, but the night sky provided enough light for my eyes to adjust. Suddenly, the cat dashed through the brush very near me and startled me. Then another further to the left. As I looked toward the sound of the last cat running, I could make out the shape of plastic containers in the small circle. These containers housed cats. I then noticed 3 sets of pinkish, orange, glowing objects with slight movement. I first assumed the glowing objects was a reflection of the cat's eyes. After watching the objects further, approximately 30 seconds, I saw that the glowing was in fact some sort of eyewear worn by 3 human-like figures. As I knelt down to watch, I could see these figures were handling the cats, and the subjects were wearing very low reflective off-white or grayish coveralls. After about 2 minutes, all 3 subjects turned their heads toward me. Thinking they might be animal control workers and not wanting to frighten them, I stood up and asked, "How are you doing?" With no vocal response, all 3 began moving towards me instantly, closing the 30-foot gap that separated us. Slowly again, I asked, "What are you guys doing here?" They continued moving toward me. I heard them talking or communicating, but inside of my head and in a strange whisper. I couldn't understand them. I also noticed they were much shorter than me. I'm 5'10", and I guess they were at least a foot shorter than me. I turned and got on my bicycle and pedaled out of there. After several minutes of riding fast, I noticed no vehicles or sign of activity. It was almost like I had entered a time warp. I didn't notice anyone or anything following me. I eventually found my way out of the area, but I was disoriented for many hours. I didn't sleep that night and continued riding west until I couldn't continue. I finally stopped and slept for a few hours in a park. I still have no idea who or what those figures were, and I never believed they were human. Elsa, how are you? Elsa Blue. Maryland does have a lot of creatures in their state parks. I never noticed or never knew how many state parks were in Maryland, but Maryland has quite a bit. You wouldn't guess it, but it does. Thank you, Elsa. I appreciate that. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? Love can teach almost anything. Absolutely, Truth Quest. Christopher Van, how are you? You're not late, brother. You're here. That's it. That's all. You're here. I don't care. Like, as long as you're here, that's all. Actually, it doesn't matter. I mean, thank you for being here with us. I appreciate it. No one's ever late, though. Thanks, Rhonda Wolf. Ever felt being stalked while hiking? I was. Absolutely, Steve. I do. I don't know if you saw the last time that I was up in in the Adirondacks where Tom Mezek disappeared, but I had a really weird feeling. I had walked up this wash and there was a lot of birds and stuff, and all of a sudden there was no kind of anything. It's a very strange area up there, but yeah, I know what you feel. Oh, Andy Davis, I'm jealous, brother. I had scrambled eggs and toast for dinner. That's like my live stream dinner is scrambled eggs and toast. No worries, Mark. No worries, brother. He's sleeping right now. I'm surprised he has not been here, actually. I'm surprised he has not walked in because I'm talking. Usually he comes walking in. Dale, I like cheese. I put cheese slices in my ramen noodles. I put Kraft cheese in my ramen noodles. It's so good. I won't, Truth Quest. Don't worry about that, my friend. I got it written down. Trust me. Liz, thank you for joining us. I haven't checked my email in a while, Lily, but I'll check it out in a little bit when we get out of here. All right. I promise. And thank you for sending me an email. What's up, Nikola Tesla? How are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. I love sunflower seeds and ramen noodles. Dang. Never had that. When I was a kid and I found ramen noodles for the first time, when my mom and dad worked, my dad worked shift work and my mom worked at the hospital. So I'd come home from school and no one would be there, so I had to make like food. And yeah, I am, Jane. I am. And so I'd make ramen and I would put like weird shit in it. I'd put like bacos, cheese. I'd put a bunch of weird shit in there. Jeff, you're good, brother. You're good. My daughter eats scrambled eggs and ketchup. She can't have scrambled eggs without ketchup. Oz, actually, the picture that was in the video is that picture that she was talking about. Yono, you're being trolled right now? I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Steve, absolutely. Absolutely. There needs to be a lot more wake up calls. Unfortunately, people don't hear them, or they don't want to they don't want to acknowledge it. Kraft cheese, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, RH. Someone is imitating someone else. What's the name, Yono? Double-edged sword, what's up? How are you tonight? Both, Elisa or Elsa, sorry. Nick Rhodes, I wouldn't, here's something. about, I think that the video or movies, Hollywood movies, I was talking to um, a buddy outside of the community just randomly, and he's really big into the UAP UFO disclosure. And he said that, or I said, like, hey, don't you think like the TV show, remember the TV show V? Um, I said, what if that was like a soft disclosure? And he's like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, well, that'd be the same way for these movies and these TV shows and stuff like that. I will, Elsa, I will. What's up, John? How are you? Mr. Billy Blue 69, what's up? Absolutely, Firewolf. Brian, be careful. Don't go out that way. Homeless accounts should always be taken seriously. Nothing. Gang 747, I agree with you 100%. The homeless people, they have nothing to lose. Why would they be lying? You know, they're my buddy from California. He's been on the show. Is adamant about the homeless being attacked by these creatures and other creatures like cryptid or crawlers and stuff like that. Thanks, John Sergey. Appreciate that, brother. Yes, and hopefully it does come. Hopefully it does come. I got a rum and coke for you. Yeah, I don't know if I really believe too much on the History Channel. I think the History Channel is mainly just entertainment. But yeah, they do have a lot of stuff. I don't really buy the whole Skinwalker Ranch TV show that much. That's kind of like, I look at it kind of like Mountain Monsters. But that's my opinion, you know. Like I may be wrong. I'm an Art Bell fan, absolutely. He's like the godfather of what we do. The TV show, Jane, or what? Or the real Skinwalker Ranch? Well, I just shared how I feel about the Skinwalker Ranch show. I think it's more or less entertainment, but Skinwalker Ranch to me is the real deal. You know, where else? Well, there's multiple other places, but you've got cryptid activity, you have UFO UAP activity, you have paranormal activity, you have portals. Larry Lynn, very close, Larry. Um, there's a lady named Nancy Zimmerman, I believe, and she wrote a book about the satanic cults in the Hudson River Valley, which is an hour and a half south of me. And there's a lot of cryptid activity there. And she had said that I think a lot of that has something to do with the satanic cult activity, the magnetic kind of off-put from the mountains and stuff. So yeah, I agree. Dogman shopping at Victoria's Secrets. Frederick's a Hollywood, Caden. Frederick's a female Dogmans only shop at Frederick's of Hollywood. Yeah, William, it's definitely not a place to go. And female werewolves, Joe, and female werewolves. You know, the female werewolves like the whips and chains, I think. Yeah, it's Nancy Zimmerman. I believe that's her name. Let me check real quick. I might be mistaken. I had heard her talk on Dave Schrader's show a while ago. So please don't I'll look it up and tell you right now. Nancy Zimmerman, Paranormal, Hudson River Valley. Linda Zimmerman. I'm sorry, guys. Linda Zimmerman is her name. And she wrote Haunted Hudson River Valley, Paranormal Experiences in the Hudson River Valley. Linda Zimmerman. Apologize for getting the name wrong. Red-haired giant from Kandahar. What do you think of that story? I shared that story quite a bit in different renditions of it. So here's my thing on that story. I think it happened. Okay. I really think that the Kandahar giant story truly happened. But I think that once it came out, because if you ever really listen to the story, there's about 8 different ways the thing happened. You know what I mean? And I think the reason why there's 8 different versions of it is either because kind of like that you tell your friend and your friend tells the friend and it changes over time, or that the government changed it and just fed us a bunch of BS once it came out to the public eye. That's just my opinion. Truth Quest, I've been meaning to check it out. To be honest with you. All right, here we go. I've shared this experience to several friends, family members, and coworkers, partly to tell a weird experience I had in the forest, and partly to see if I could get some insight on what I experienced. I'm also interested in hearing what you guys have to say. I'm originally from northwestern Ontario and have been in and out of the forest my entire life. I grew up hunting, fishing, camping, and have gone on many remote backcountry canoe trips. I've also worked in the forest for a few different jobs. I've always felt very comfortable in the forest, and I've never had a bad experience. That was until working in the forest near New Lisnard, Ontario. I was working as an ecologist in the district of North Bay, Ontario. As an ecologist, I had many different jobs that brought me to every end of the district. One of those jobs involved conducting inventory on old logging cut blocks. This is something that I've done multiple times over multiple summers in different areas of the province. This particular block was located west of New Lisnard, about 45 minutes drive out of town. The area is very rural with farm fields and an old farmhouse scattered throughout. While driving the roads, it was common for other vehicles to stop and stare at you. This might have been because we were driving in a marked truck, or that we were the only people the locals didn't recognize. The block we were looking for hadn't been cut since 1995 and was located down this old, rarely used logging road. The two of us were tasked with collecting data on the block. To get to the block, we had to turn off onto this overgrown road that barely fit a truck. The road had many mud pits that nearly sunk our truck on multiple locations. When we couldn't drive any further, we had to walk the rest of the way to the block, which took about another half hour. The work started the same as any other day. While working, we talked about office drama, funny experiences we were having, and what good movies we had watched recently. As we got further into the block, I started feeling my chest getting tighter. As we continued, I started feeling like we were being watched through the trees. These feelings got stronger, and further we traveled into the logging block. I tried to shrug them off until my coworker suddenly stopped reciting the data we were collecting, looked at me, and said, "I have a terrible feeling about this place." When we discovered that we were both feeling like we were being watched and that something wasn't right about the area, we continued our work with the unsettling feelings persisting. As we continued further into the cut block, keeping our conversation, we suddenly stopped dead in our tracks, dropping the last word that was uttered. We had both heard what sounded like people having a conversation. This we couldn't comprehend because we were in such a remote place, deep down this almost undrivable trail on which we saw no sign of people. Then another hour walk into the brush to get to our location. The forest was far too thick to be any use recreationally, and it was not hunting season. What was also troubling was we couldn't make out what was being said. The voices would continue for a few seconds, then disappear as quickly as they started. Once they stopped, we would continue our work, but be stopped in our tracks as the voices would pick up a few minutes later. This pattern continued until we came across the trees that had been bent and snapped. Now, it's not uncommon to find trees bent and snapped by bear, moose, or even the weather. But what was odd about these trees was the proximity to other trees. We would find a tight cluster of trees in the middle tree be snapped and the others untouched. The trees were also free of any rub marks. Then we came across a patch of young poplar trees that was completely surrounded by an almost perfect circle of dense spruce. Within the patch, almost all the poplar had been snapped and bent down in different directions, but the surrounding evergreens were untouched. Neither of us had ever seen anything like it before. And with the feeling that something was watching us, we quickly got out of the area. As we moved back to the block, the voices stopped, and the feelings of dread and being watched drifted away. We both expressed that it felt normal again, and we were only a half an hour walk from where it had just occurred. What made me want to share this was that there had been two women who disappeared from the New Liskeard area. Julie Diane Fortier lived on Elk Lake, Ontario, upriver from the block we were working on, and went missing in the 80s after taking a bus to school. 5 years to the day she disappeared, her school bag, running shoes, and coat were found in a landfill. The landfill was located roughly 6 kilometers away. Then Melanie Ethler went missing in 96. She was a 1 kilometer walk from home to her friend's house. She was observed walking by multiple people on this kilometer walk and seen crossing the Armstrong Street Bridge. The last stretch of her journey involved a poorly lit road where she disappeared without a trace. To this day, both these girls have not been, their disappearances have not been solved, and their whereabouts are unknown. Aramec, I know. It's not hot and my house isn't hot. I'm just having heat flashes. No, alligator horse. Nope, never has actually. I know you do, Aramec. Ooh, Brian, that's a badass dog. I switched to Lucky Strikes. Thanks, Sonia. I appreciate it. Menopause, absolutely. I will when I print it out, Joe. I'll do it. I'll do it next live stream, and I'll put it this week. I'll print it out this week. I don't have my printer with me right now. What's up, Tim's Pro? I haven't seen you around in a while, Tim's Pro Auto Spa. Hope everything's well with you, my friend. Thank you, Charlie Knight. I appreciate it. What does it matter? I'm 67. What does it matter? My grandma used to smoke Pall Mall, like those. I don't know, because like usually non-filters are small, you know. My grandma used to smoke Pall Mall non-filters that were like a freaking mile long. Joe. Oh. Pall Mall non-filter. I miss smoking cigarettes every once in a while, but I don't know. I quit smoking probably around 6 years ago. And I know I smoke a vape, but I can't stand the smell of cigarette smoke anymore. Like I'd love to smoke a cigarette if it didn't smell so bad. They just smell real bad now to me. But I don't dislike cigarettes. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Some willows out there in space. Yeah, I hear you, Tim. Lucky strikes, no strike back. Dude, this is a funny story. So my dad was in the Navy and he had like this box of goodies that he had when he retired. And I had found a pack of his old Lucky Strikes that were not opened, but they were from like 20 years ago. And I was like 13 when I found them, and they were wretched. And I was smoking cigarettes, stealing my mom's cigarettes and shit. Anyway, I found this pack of Lucky Strikes that weren't opened. And I remember lying in the garage above like the carport area and smoking like two of these Lucky Strikes that were probably 20 years old. And I had never gotten so sick in my life. They were absolutely terrible. Andy Davis, I'm smoking Lucky Strikes right now. Suji. Yeah, it was nasty, Aramek. It was terrible. My stomach hurt so bad. Oh, shit. It was terrible. Every once in a while, I'll smoke a pipe. I got a pipe that I smoke, but William, yeah, exactly. When you're ready, you will. When you're ready, you will quit. My cousin just got my mom like 3 cartons of those Seneca Blue 100s from Florida. I think she paid like 20 something bucks for a carton or something like that. Andy Davis, I completely agree. I cannot. I used to smoke weed too, and now I can't stand the smell of it. I fucking hate the smell of it. It drives me nuts. And like in upstate New York, like I don't care if people smoke. Like I don't. But like for some reason, if I'm outside and I smell it, it just I don't know. It's gross. Nick Hendricks. No, he believed that there was only one. The comment. I agree. Yeah, Andy. Quit 9 years ago. Absolutely. Don't go looking for Dogman or anything like that. Exactly. I agree 100%, Dogman, UK man. Jamie Blowers. Okay, that's it. I'm unsubscribing right now, Jeff. Nothing better than what? Could do. Do you guys read Jamie Blowers' comment? Jamie Blowers is unsubscribing to me because our live stream apparently is, I don't know, he doesn't like it. Okay, good. Thank you, brother. I'm like, I couldn't read what you were saying. I'm like, what? Could do, man. I was like, what did I do? I'm glad that you're staying, Jamie. All right, tomorrow, here, I'm going to leak something right now. Kush. All right. No, I'm not anti-weed. I loved weed when I was, a long time ago. I loved it. But I just, I just can't, I don't know. It's something about the smell now. I think once you quit for so long, you just can't take the smell of it anymore. Actually, Lily Lewis, I sent Dark Waters a present. I sent him some of the finest cigars that he had, probably. Because I got cigars in my thing. I love the Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark Liquor makes this really beautiful cigar. Woo! I guess I did, Lily. Getting close to drunk, still not looking for Dogman. Why is the government being selective on Dogman needing to go? Probably because there's too many of them, I believe. Anyway, I'm going to leak this right now. Tomorrow's video is there's going to be a video clip of a baby dog man, and it's not the one of the little boy running up the hill. This is probably the strangest video I've ever seen. And you guys know how I find out about fake videos and stuff like that. Like, I'll really dig into them if they're really weird looking. No, it's not. No, it's not, Kelly. This is the strangest. It doesn't look like a Dogman, but it looks like what Victor showed me. And for those of you guys who remember when Victor was here, Eunice, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. The video Victor showed me, or no, it was a picture that Victor showed me of a baby Dogman. I said, that is the gross. Libra, how are you, dear? Minority Reporter. Libra Poets here. Anyway, I said it was the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen. So tomorrow night or tomorrow day's video is going to be pretty awesome. Libra, I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you, dear. Steve, have a good night. Trouble. That's actually a crazy. This goes to Trouble. So Trouble just said the weirdness picked up around my home and property when some neighbors cut down a huge amount of trees to make a pasture. Okay, so yes, she did change her picture. So anyway, Trouble. I had interviewed a woman from Pennsylvania, and this woman had some issues. She was getting sick, and she started to realize that she was getting hit by infrasound, right? Well, she had realized that there was some sort of cryptid in her back field. There's a bunch of woods around her home, and apparently it communicated with her telepathically, but it said something about the woods being cut by her home. And because her home was adjacent to that property that got cut, it was targeting her. The strange part about all of that was when I Google mapped her, Google imaged her house or whatever, and all the other houses were crystal clear except her house and the property next to it. So yes, that could be a very bad thing. Dogman UK, man, you be safe, brother. Jeff, have you seen The Sound of Freedom yet? I haven't seen it. I've seen is that where they find the children that are getting abducted and stuff like that, Libra? Like they compared it to Epstein Island or something like that, I think. Am I wrong, right? I haven't seen any movies in a while. Fun boy. What Dogman story happened to you? Did you do a video on it? Yes, I have multiple times. I might share it here in a little bit. Dogman UK, man, you be safe. Have a great night. I read The Sound of Fury. I can take a shower. The hills are alive with Dogman. Okay, someone said that you were going to bed. Little Orphan Andy, quite possibly, the 411. Yes, Libra. Yes, I have. Yeah, it is about child trafficking. Thank you, Joseph. Yes, I saw the trailer for it. And it looked really crazy, to be honest with you. From what I'm told, Funboy, in Vietnam. Yeah, it was shared here actually. That's where, because nobody talked about it before a guest of mine shared it 2 years ago, and then other channels started talking about it. To be honest with you, Funboy, because I mean, that's probably the truth. Jane's been with me since the channel started, and after Victor came, a lot of his information was just getting talked about on other channels, even though they were calling him a crock of shit. Big Gun, no, I have not. Um, Whatever's in the books. Each state has their own laws. Bigfoot, you can't hunt in New York, California. Oklahoma has a hunting season for Bigfoot. RH, 100% agree with you right there, brother. 100%. Amen to that, RH. Jeff, have you watched Supernatural Encounters? Hang on one second. With LA. No, I haven't. Oh, but guess who came in here? Hang on, guys. Come here, buddy. Come here. Hey. Come here. Oh, buddy. Buddy. Buddy's here, guys. Hang on. Let me put the chair up. Oh, buddy. Buddy wants to say hi to everybody. Hey, buddy. Buddy. Oh. What, huh? Eagle boy? Eagle boy? Oh, Eagle boy. What, Eagle boy, huh? He's the mascot of the channel. He's got more. You guys, you can hear him purring. He purrs loud. What, Eagle boy? He's my best friend. Anything new from the border? No, nothing new, Tim. Nothing new. Have you guys seen the video with the Russian man who gets chased by something? Yes. Nova Cotton. So really quick, just before I forget, Funboy wanted to hear my experience. And I know you guys have heard it a million times. But Funboy, this is my experience. So sorry guys if you guys hate it, but I'm gonna share it real quick. So 1994, Funboy, I was hanging out with my best friend, who's Czechoslovakian, his name's Martin, my girlfriend, his girlfriend, and our buddy Gabe, who was driving us around. We were all under 18 except Gabe, and he was our driver. We weren't drinking, we weren't smoking weed, we were just chilling out. Now there's these cul-de-sacs that were getting built because our town was growing, and so you'd pull in and it was like a U shape into the woods. Well, we pulled in one. My buddy's girlfriend lived in the one above this one that we were in, and this was getting freshly built. There was like 6 or 7 houses in different build stages. Some had roofs, some had walls, some didn't. There was a light in the middle of the U. So my buddy had this big land yacht of a vehicle. I believe it was a Caprice Classic. And he had parked kind of like, so you pull in and then you kind of loop around, and we were kind of like right here. Ooh, buddy. And so we parked. We were, all right, go. We were hanging out. We were listening to Biohazard. And I say that because I remember distinctly everything that we were doing. All of a sudden, we heard these really weird kind of noises coming through the woods. Now, key to the story is when they built the road, they had just cut all the trees and pushed them into the woods. So the woods were just dense, or not dense, just full of debris. So whatever was running through, we couldn't figure out what was running through the woods. We're just like, what the hell is going on? Well, the girls were like, vampire. I don't know why they said vampire. I don't know what, and they jumped in the car. My buddy Gabe, who was in the driver's side this whole time, it was me, Martin, and the girls were all hanging out outside of the car. Gabe was in the car using the radio. All of a sudden, the girls in the car, I'm standing by the passenger side light looking at the woods, and I'm like, what is going on? Because there's different eye shine, and it's varying from 3 feet high to 6 or 7 feet high. And TW, how are you? And all of a sudden, my buddy's like, Jeff, get in the car, bitch, in his Czechoslovakian voice. So I jump in the car and we take off to get out of there. And as we are turning onto Route 9 to go into town, there's one of these creatures standing on the edge of the tree line. How it beat us is unbelievable. There's no way it could have beaten us. It's just strange and weird. We go back the next day, me and my buddy Martin, and we're looking for tracks. The guy who's the foreman of the building the houses says, get the hell out of here. What are you guys doing? He probably thinks we're going to steal something, but we told him, hey, we're just looking for our dog, He says, that's crazy because I heard a bunch of dogs out here last night while we were packing up, and it sounded like they were fighting. Now, and then I was obsessed. I was hooked from 1994 on. Years go by. Our friend Gabe dropped off the face of the earth, wouldn't talk to us, wouldn't do anything, had nothing to do with us. So one night I run into him and I'm like, bro, what happened? And he said before the noises started happening, he saw 2 quadruped animals cross the road into the woods that would have been behind the car. So these things are trying to they were trying to box us in. And That's my experience. Now, someone said there was a bot. Is there a bot? What's going on? No problem, fun boy. Exactly. They were trying to ambush us. Thanks, Dogman. You came in. Appreciate that. Monty, what's going on? And yes, they do. They were trying to exactly flank us. Biohazard Punishment. We were listening to the original album. Still one of my favorite bands. I keep seeing bot and all this and trolls. Yes, Jeff, there are ambush hunters. Absolutely, Robert Sharp. Monty, I'll email you my address. Fun boy, I wouldn't shoot one with anything less than, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think headshot would probably be your best bet, but I wouldn't go. I think myself, if you're a good enough shot, a green tip 5.56, a real green tip 5.56, not one of those stupid ones that they're making now, but a real one would work. I don't know. I'm partial to Fort Scott Munitions TUI, tumble upon impact, because they've taken out a bear with one bullet, 9mm, and a boar with one bullet, 9mm. But 12 gauge, absolutely. My Caltech 12 gauge would be my weapon of choice, and I would just unload on that fucker. ALZilla, homage bazooka. Jeff, I've always tried to show my brother videos of Dogman. He constantly tells me they're fake and not clear. I've told him that they are sneaky and know when to cloak and being watched. Absolutely, Libra. Absolutely. I think the biggest thing of it is I think they can sense trail cams, and I think they can sense other things, like the camera. But the photo of the lady from Scotland is probably like the one that really sold me 100%, if you know what I mean. Randall Kennedy, yes, Randall Kennedy. I don't know, Lily. I don't know. I don't think we should be going out in the woods hunting them. I think my only thing is, if you go in the woods and you go to hunt them, you deserve what you get. No, fun boy, the government didn't create them. Absolutely not. They've been here since before man, to be honest with you. There's old tales of them coming across the land bridge. But anyway, my thing is if you go in the woods and you go hunting them, you deserve what you get. But if they come on your property and they hurt your livestock, they hurt your family, they do anything like that, I think that you have every right to put one down. Other than that, just my thing is to leave them the fuck alone. AB Darkmoon, I've heard of them crossing into like golf courses and stuff. I've had one subscriber. Yes. All right, guys. It's getting late. I really don't feel good. We've been doing this for 2 hours. I apologize for ending half an hour earlier than normal. But I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I need to get some sleep. And I had a blast as normal. So, with that, guys, please stay safe. And thank you for joining me. I can't wait till next week. Hopefully I feel better. I'm just off my game tonight. I started stuttering there for a second. Did you see it? But thank you guys. I appreciate you joining me tonight. And I love you all.